So, the Teletubbies are getting a Netflix reboot. Yeah, that's the right reaction. Just stunned silence, quiet acceptance. Like, yeah, that might as well happen. We've been through so much in the past few years. What are a couple of Tubbies gonna do to that? When I first heard the Teletubbies were getting a reboot, my first reaction was, why? Who asked for this? Who greenlit this? But what I ended up saying out loud was, what? Under whose authority? Which made me sound like some wild Teletubbies fundamentalist. Like, I'm okay with the new Teletubbies if it's divinely inspired. I just don't want false doctrine being pushed in the Teletubbies canon. Teletubbies is a wild one to reboot though, right? Because usually when you're making a reboot, what you want to do is appeal to old fans, get all the fans ready and energized, tap into everyone's nostalgia, but all the long-term fans of the Teletubbies are in jail now. Like, forget good memories of the Teletubbies. Do you have any memories of the Teletubbies? You remember, at most, 3 things from that show. Number 1, the son was a baby. Which, yeah, talk about shameless pandering to the target demographic. We're just a bunch of narcissistic little babies sitting in our high chair, thinking the whole world revolves around us. And suddenly on the screen we'd see a visual representation of that idea. Of course the ratings are going to go up because of that. It's just shameless fan service. The second thing you remember about the Teletubbies is that they had televisions on their tummies. Tummies. Teletubbies. Some of you just got that for the first time. I'll give you a second to let your mind be blown. The third thing you remember about the Teletubbies is that they lived in an underground bunker, which I guess is more evidence for my theory that the Teletubbies live in a post-apocalyptic world. I guess all of the radiation would explain all the everything about them. You know what you don't remember about the Teletubbies? The plot. There were 35 episodes of this show. What did they do? Like, I'm half convinced that every episode of the Teletubbies is just 3 minutes of footage that they played on a loop. Netflix is like, yeah, we can do that. We can do anything. We're Netflix. The Teletubbies, though, if anything, I am glad for the Teletubbies. I'm happy for them, because you never really see them in any projects. They had a really rough few years. You always see those online articles like, why Hollywood refuses to cast the Teletubbies. The tragedy of La La just keeps getting sadder and sadder. I mean, Tinky Winky had a strong solo run as Ugly Sonic before he was recast. But it's nice to see everyone together again in the same project. It's weird though, the whole cast has gotten older. I mean, you thought the baby son was weird. Now imagine looking up at the sky and there's just a 28-year-old man. And he has to act excited about it. And they don't change any of the dialogue. He's just staring down at them just like, ha 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 ha, hoo 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 hoo, ah pa pa pa, ah hoo hoo hoo. So I'm currently single. I don't have any jokes about that. I just like to throw it out every show. Get the word out just in case anyone's interested. All right, no takers. That's okay. That's fair. I have my coping mechanisms. I listen to an unhealthy amount of Taylor Swift. I'm actually at this weird place with Taylor Swift where I'm a fan, but I'm not a Swiftie. Like, I enjoy her music, I can sing along to a lot of her songs, but I wouldn't die for her. So that puts me squarely at the bottom third of Taylor Swift listeners. That puts me squarely at the bottom third of Taylor Swift listeners. Oh my gosh, what's my next joke? The bottom third is not a fun place to be, though. And that's the third that gets cast out into outer darkness. So it's not fun, because Swifties, they'll grill you on this stuff. They're like, oh, you say you're a fan of Taylor Swift? Yeah? Which version of All Too Well do you listen to? Because if it's not the 10-minute version every time, then you should be arrested for perjury. Fake fan. And then the police showed up and I was arrested for perjury. But that was for something completely different and just bad timing on my part. So it's not my fault. But 10 minutes, that's too long for a song, honestly. Like, the only other songs that I can think of that get close to that length are Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen and Albuquerque by Weird Al. Which I guess that proves that after a certain length, songs either have to be these terrible, heartbreaking tragedies or Albuquerque by Weird Al. I guess maybe I just don't have the attention span for a 10-minute long song. I mean, like, the last time I focused on the same thing for 10 consecutive minutes was... TikTok really messed me up. But maybe I'm also jealous, you know, because a lot of my comedy sets, they get out to about 10 minutes, but nobody's listening to those on a loop. Nobody comes home from a messy breakup. They're having the worst day of their life. They're like, I need to listen to someone who understands me. Alexa, play the one about how Teletubbies are weird. Tyler's version. Sad Boy Autumn version from the vault. Oh wait, listen, it's the rap part. My favorite part. Everyone sing along. Woo! Ha 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 ha, pa pa pa. Thank you so much, you've been a great audience.